Hello, we're back to we're going to arse about a bit,
Yeah,
aren't we, Dave? What
it,
have
it's
you been
been
arsing about with this week?
it's been quite a while actually. Like this week, no, we need to go a couple of weeks back, don't we?
Yeah. It's been
It's
a
been a
while.
while since we recorded because we've been a
Dave
little bit
cancelled on
busy.
me because his laptop shit the bed.
It did. It wasn't good, and it's still not 100% now because I tried to join this call and it was saying, "Oh, I can't find your webcam," and I'm like, "Well, I can. It's there."
Yeah, it's
So
there.
like, I don't understand why you can't find it because it's attached to you.
Mm.
But anyway, yeah, we cancelled one because it would have been good to do one last week whilst it was still
Did you
fresh in
hear
our
that?
minds.
We cancelled one. No,
I know.
we didn't cancel one.
I'm going for the communal
Let's
we.
take some ownership of this, Dave.
Yeah, right. That was my bad. As the tech person, I really should have my laptop in better order. But
Mm.
it's kind of like a mechanic, how their car is always just barely hanging on and will just scrape through an MOT. That's tech people with their laptops. They're actually a bit of a mess.
Yeah, my file organization is embarrassing.
Oh, you don't even want to see my desktop. I've got a whole bunch of screenshots saved that I need to go and sort. And
And the thing is, it's
my downloads
so
folder,
far gone.
I'll just
It's
delete
like
it all.
it's years of shit that
Just
I'm too overwhelmed to deal with.
I don't know about you, but like my downloads folder on macOS, I just like every 6 months, I'll just shove it all into an archive folder and just be like, if I don't need it, it's fine. I could delete the archive folder later on. We should have recorded last week because we went to Silverstone for the British GT and Ginetta Media Day and met
We were
lots of
people of
awesome
media,
people.
weren't we?
We were. I still feel like an imposter when I turn up. I was like, am I
Mm,
really media? I've just got an app. Like
mm.
I see you more as media than me because you've got a physical thing that exists in the world.
Yeah, I mean, I have a wanky lanyard as well, but I really couldn't bring myself to wear it.
You got a Slicks lanyard.
Yeah, don't know how I feel about it.
Nice.
I've kept it quiet. It
I've
was
got a
like,
racing line one as well, and
do I
yeah,
really want to wear a lanyard?
yeah,
Look
you
like I
do.
work for HP, you know?
No, no, you do. You do need to wear a lanyard with the pass on it because that's how people recognize you.
Well, I was repping the t-shirt, wasn't I? Which did actually uh it was a bit mental. It's the first time, probably the first time I've been in a paddock since launching the magazine because I've worn that in the paddock in the past, but at that time I didn't really have the magazine out. So this was the first time where I've worn a Slicks piece of apparel and people have recognized me, which is such a bizarre feeling.
Yeah, but it's also very cool because I was telling you this last year when I was at the British GT event. I was in the media center, and two independent people mentioned Slicks, and you'd only done one issue at that point. So immediately you had gotten traction in the paddocks, which is where you want to be.
That's a lovely pun as well. Thank you for that.
Oh, absolutely.
Was it
And
intended?
no, of course not. I'm not that smart. Any pun that I do is accidental. Come on, don't give me too much credit. And then, sure enough, we turn up at Silverstone, and there was at least two people knew the magazine without you having to give over information. There was Jude Peters and Dale Peters, his father, the LMP3 driver for Team Virage. Dale knew of the mag, which is brilliant.
Mm,
And there was a gentleman, was that Charlie Clark who
Charlie Clark.
found you?
Yes.
Who also a legend, fastest business deal in the world done with that man, where it
It
was
happened behind my back in a matter of minutes.
10 minutes from, are you Lewis and are you Dave? Do you want a sticker on the car? And most of that 10 minutes was walking to the car to retrieve the stickers.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So yeah, Charlie Clark of Paddock Management
Yep.
got me and Dave on a GT4 car in British GT, which is very cool.
Yep. And if you want another funny part of that story, a couple of days after Silverstone, myself and Nick went to Knock Hill to do an experience day. And my instructor was a gentleman, I think his name was Josh Hislop. I might be wrong on that. Josh is one of Charlie's drivers. He races in
Wow.
NLS with Charlie, and we kind of were doing laps of Knock.
How did you figure that out?
We were doing laps of Knock Hill in an Alpine A110, Josh was in the passenger seat and I was driving, which is really cool. It's like you got an actual racing driver sitting instructing you whilst you're driving a pretty cool road car. And I mentioned what I do, and he was like, "Were you down at Silverstone?" I was like, "Yeah." Oh, so my mate Charlie mentioned that he'd met some Scottish guy down there, and I'm like, "Yeah, that was me." I just assumed when someone says the Scottish guy, that's me.
It's
'Cause
you.
there's only three of
The
us. So,
Scottish guy. It's you or
yeah,
Andy Murray.
yeah. And turns out, yeah, it was Charlie Clark had mentioned to him that he'd met me, and it's just weird coincidence. So yeah,
How strange.
I know, absolutely brilliant though, because Josh is going to end up in the racing line as an athlete because of that, and another driver I met as well. It's really bad. His name escapes me right now, but he's in Euro NASCAR, but he's also an instructor at Knock Hill, and he's going to go into the racing line as well. So it's a kind of odd kind of thing that tacked on to the end at Silverstone there. Is went to Knock Hill and met some more drivers who we're going to put in the app. But yeah,
There is no
Charlie,
track that Dave arrives at that he doesn't leave with drivers
I
poached.
seems to be how it goes because we turned up at Silverstone and the goal was we had slicks and racing line stickers to put on Jamie Coddle's Ginetta G56 GT car because he's entering the Pro series this year. Say the series, it's class now because they've merged the classes. And that was really cool because Jamie is awesome to chat to. And we
Jamie's
had
great.
drinks with him in Silverstone Bar the night before as well. He came down and we shared many expensive rum and cokes. I'm still complaining about that to everybody who
Yeah,
listens.
he's still going on about this bloody business expense of a drink that he has that was
£57
£27 for
for
2
two
rum and
rum and
cokes.
cokes. Everybody in
Yeah.
Scotland has heard me complain about that. Or more of the shock about that. So yeah, that was the goal, was get stickers on Jamie's car. And I think we ended up on Andrew Robinson's Ginetta Junior and Oscar Stockley King's Ginetta Junior. We went to have a look at the BMW GT4, the Chomp livery, which got a racing
Home.
line sticker on the back, and then accidentally ended up on the Innovation Ginetta as well when we bumped into Charlie. So a very successful weekend, I think. It wasn't even a weekend, was it? It was a Tuesday.
Yeah, much stickerage. Yeah, just it was quite a warm trip. Do you know I burnt my forehead?
I think that's why I felt quite unwell afterwards because I went
Yeah,
to,
Dave was on his arse by the end of the day.
yeah, I was really hanging by the end of the day. I was not
Yeah.
well at all.
He was a proper prima donna, and we had to move away from the kitchen because the smells were bothering
I
him.
did, I did. You know what? I think it was more the pizza that bothered me, which was absolutely terrible.
Pizza was
So,
terrible.
pizza was
And I
crap.
felt bad because we were sat with Dave's friend Nick, who we
Yeah,
will get on for an episode. Uh, Sim aficionado.
sim
Um,
aficionado, and as of today, actual racing driver with a
yes, with
proper
with
first.
an arms license.
Yes. So well done to
Um,
him for that, being
he ordered a
successful.
hamburger,
Yeah.
and I was chewing his ear off and felt quite bad because he kept going to pick a chip up, and then he'd answer me, and I realized I was halfway through my pizza and he hadn't eaten a single chip.
I think he
So,
enjoyed it. I think he just likes chatting motorsport with people like you and me, guy. We're all the same
uh,
level, and it's difficult to find people who are into motorsport when you're out and about throughout the day. As soon as you mention racing, their eyes just kind of glaze over. They know what F1 is. They know what Lando Norris is and a Max Verstappen and a Lewis Hamilton. As soon as you mention a Ginetta, they're like, "What? What do you mean Ginetta?
yeah,
What is a
exactly.
Donington Park? You know, do you take dogs there to do a wee? Like, I don't understand."
I think
So
we
I think
forget
he
how
just
much
enjoys it.
of an echo chamber motorsports is.
Oh, 100%. We just
Apart
like to
from
talk
F1,
about
F1
ourselves.
is the most likely entrance
Yeah,
into things.
yeah.
Um, but we met some good people. I met for the first time Jess of JS Trackside Media.
Yes, incredibly
Yes,
popular Instagram that she's got going with some high profile followers as well. We really should shout out that Lando and
absolutely.
Oscar both follow her, and Lando was our prom date and stuff like that, which is just awesome.
Brilliant story. I've seen
Um,
the flowers in resin in the in the
yeah,
L and the O. Just a
yeah.
brilliant story.
So cool,
And
isn't it?
got a little bag of Skittles that kept me busy on the way home. So
Yep.
shout out Jess. We're gonna
I think
do stuff together
I had
in
two
the
packets of
magazine.
Skittles as well. She was very generous.
Very
We also met Kev Simpson of Ginetta, talking about how they've moved a lot of their stuff over to SRO, which allows them to build more race cars because SRO are going to take care of running the series, which sounds like a win for everybody. If Ginetta can sell more race cars and SRO can have an even stronger ladder into their stuff, it's great for like the Ginetta juniors, the drivers that we've got links with, and Jamie with your slick stickers on his car because that's now part of the SRO ladder. So it was good chatting with Kev and catching up. You got an invite to the Ginetta factory, didn't you, to come and have a chat with them?
Extended to you, Dave.
Oh,
Did I not say yeah,
you're in
yeah,
their neck of the woods, aren't you? You're just down the
I
road
am.
from them, are you not?
I'm just a stone's throw away
Yeah.
in Wakey,
My English geography is non-existent. Where's Ginetta? Is that Leeds?
Leeds,
And where are you?
Wakefield.
I don't know why I asked that question because I don't know what
No,
to do with that answer.
I
How long does it take you to drive to Leeds?
half an hour.
Oh, wow, you're really close then. I can't even
I
cross
am
Edinburgh
the
in half an hour.
I am the Livingston to your Edinburgh.
Oh, I'm sorry for your loss. Like,
Is
oh,
that
no.
accurate?
It's accurate in terms of distance, but I really hope that you don't live in the English equivalent of Livingston, but we'll go with that.
Oh, is Livingston a shithole?
It's not the best.
What's this place here? Bowness, and there's just an
Yeah,
apostrophe.
you don't really wanna go to Bo'ness, no. It's got a
Where's
ship.
the letter gone?
It's got we didn't need that letter, I just dropped it. It's more economical to
Museum
have
of
less
Scottish
letters.
Railways.
Oh, I need to go to that. That'll definitely suit my autism.
Oh, 100%. I mean, you'd like York, the National Railway Museum.
Been there. There's also a Concorde along the road from me in one
Is
of the
there really?
museums. Yeah, I've not actually seen it in
I
person,
would
though.
love to have been on the Concorde.
Yeah, it's, I like how we went from Ginetta to Concorde as if that's the same thing.
Same ballpark, innit?
Yeah.
Going fast
So you can
on a
invite me to the
predetermined
Ginetta
route.
factory, but I'm not gonna make it down because Leeds is quite far from me. Maybe if I
You're not
could
gonna
chain
come
it to
down?
another trip. Well, if I could chain it to another trip, then it would be worth a gander for sure.
So I'm 23 minutes from Janetta.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm gonna dox myself here. People are gonna get a compass and figure out I'm within a 23-minute radius, and then,
Kev's gonna turn up at your door and be like, "Why did you not come down?" And he's gonna be knocking on your door being like, "I invited you."
yeah, and he did. So it was extended to you, but you clearly don't value my time enough to come down from Scotland.
Yeah, that's clearly the issue. I think you're at least a 4-hour drive away, maybe a 3-hour drive away, so
Jess is coming from, Scousland. You
Y
alright?
yeah, but that's not that far, is it? An hour or so? An hour or 2?
Dave,
Something
Dave,
like
Dave,
that?
Dave, 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 Dave. It's not an hour.
Everything in your
From
area is just
Liverpool,
yeah, I don't know these things.
it's 2 hours.
Oh, come on.
It was literally double.
Yeah, it's 3 or 4 hours for me.
You're in the middle of nowhere, aren't you?
I think you'll find them in Scotland.
Same thing. What I find mental is the lack of motorway.
Yeah, it just stops at Perth. And
Why
even
though?
if you go east from Edinburgh, it's A1, and a lot of it's single carriageway as well.
Yeah,
That really
fascinating.
should be dual, but,
Have you gone
whatever.
decimal up in Scotland yet?
Gone decimal.
Yeah, pound, shilling, and pence.
Yeah, yeah, we have pound, shilling, and pence. I think you'll find that if you look up the amount of things that the UK has invented, Scotland did most of them. So be
That's
careful
true.
where you go with this one.
Honestly, Dave was like Stuart Little in London at the beginning of this year.
Yeah, it was actually quite eye opening. I was like, oh, this is what a
Yeah,
city is like.
yeah, yeah.
Forgot
We
that we did
talked about that,
London
haven't
earlier
we?
this
We
year
did
too.
do that, yeah. You're
We've
an
done a lot this
award-winning
year
app.
so far.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, well, you've been busy this year, you know?
yeah. So have you though. You've been to many places outside of the UK.
I have left the country, yeah. With my
It's always the goal.
red passport. It's still red, mine.
Have you still got a red one? I've got
Still
a
got a red
blue
one.
one. I don't like that mine is blue.
Blue is Brexit.
Yeah, yeah, I don't like it, but is what it is.
No, I've still got a red one. I've still got a proper one.
Who else did we meet at Silverstone? Other than there was so many people. At one point, you couldn't walk because every time a conversation ended, somebody else
Yes.
stepped in to speak to you. You are
That
the
was mental.
celebrity.
Yeah, so I met a contributor in issue 2, Erica, whose brother drives Chomp.
Yes, alongside the racing line athlete. So we know both those drivers in that car, essentially,
Yes.
which is very cool.
Um, So we were talking to Jess, and then we bumped into Erica, and then we bumped into Charlie.
Mhm.
We did the whole sticker thing, and then we were in the garage talking with people. Dave was vandalizing the garage, trying to peel some gaffer tape off a hidden sponsor.
It was,
Did you
GT
figure out
Cup.
why?
Yeah, it's GT Cup. It's a different
Uh,
series. It's their banners from the other one, and British GT and SRO are very, very strict about what you're allowed to and not allowed to show in the garages, so
so it was
that was
gaffer
that
taped
one.
up,
And
but
whilst I
Dave peeled it
remember,
back.
we should say thank you to Richard Towler, a photographer who was there, who did take many great photos of Racing Line and Slick stickers. So if you're listening,
Yes,
Richard,
he
thank
did.
you for those. That's been very, very helpful with our
Yes, he
marketing.
asked me if you and I are going to be at the Silverstone British GT.
I'm still undecided about that. It very much depends on how much Donald Trump is bombing the Middle East and how much the fuel prices mix, because it's not cheap for me to drive down there. But
Paid 158 yesterday.
I'm also still waiting to hear about Media Pass, funnily enough. So I'm still not sure if I'm going yet, but we'll work that out closer to the time. My current aim is to be at the Silverstone 500 for the first race, because there's also GB3 and GB4 there, which is very, very cool. And there should be a couple of GB4 drivers that are racing line athletes as well. At the very least one that's unannounced, and we'll see how that
Getting
goes.
the monopoly, aren't you?
That's
All the
that's
drivers.
my marketing technique is just be everywhere. That's how it's going to work.
And when you what's the phrase? When everyone is a racing line athlete, no one is a racing line athlete.
Yeah, it will be a problem when I'm covering every driver in the world, but that'll be a good problem to
Every
have.
driver is in the racing line app.
Yeah, you're gonna have to just manage that. At one
At
point,
that point, doesn't it just become the racing line app?
it becomes driver DB, doesn't it?
Yeah,
Driver database thing where it's got all
it
the
does, yeah.
results, except for I'll be doing their schedules.
So when you have a driver in your app, what does that mean? Do you specifically follow their championship and their upcoming races?
Yeah, I personally try to follow them more than other drivers. It's obviously quite difficult when you've got quite a few drivers, like what we're talking about in the WRC podcast, where when there's a lot going on, it's quite hard to actually
Mm,
watch every race. But I do try and watch every event that Racing Line athletes are in. But it does put them on the homepage of the app. And the idea being that it gives them exposure to fans that are using the Racing Line. Idea of that is that somebody will watch a GB4 race for the first time, for example, and look down the timing tower and be like, "Oh, I don't know any of these names." Or look at it and go, "Oh, Tom Ingram Hill, I know that name. I know that from the Racing Line. That's who I'll support." Something along those lines.
yeah.
So it's to try and prime users into knowing who a driver is before it even starts. So the driver hopefully gains some popularity, which is nice. And I link out to their socials. I post every time that they're going to be racing. I didn't think I would be a social media manager, but that's kind of the route it's slightly going down. And we update their profile in the app so that every week that they're racing, they're on the homepage and you can just tap on it and see it. And I think as of this week, thanks to Dale and Jude for wanting to be part of the app. They're now in, and they're in Michelin LMP3, which is Michelin Le Mans Cup LMP3, which is great. And because of the people that I met at Knock Hill via Charlie Clark, we're hopefully going to have NLS, which would be really cool, and Euro NASCAR, which is just something completely different, but also very cool. I
Didn't
just
even know that existed.
it's kind of crazy. They use, I think the term is late models. If there's an American listening to this, they will know a lot more than me, but it's kind of like lower end stock cars, like similar-ish to NASCARs, but they mostly race on circuits in Europe. I don't think they've got any ovals. I might be wrong on that. They're racing at Valencia next weekend, the GP circuit, the one that Formula E raced at and GT World Challenge races at. And they even go to Brands Hatch, which is kind of crazy, a stock car around Brands Hatch. So yeah, we'll hopefully have an athlete in that as well. And
God bless America.
I know it's all very American. They've got playoffs and everything in those. They've got like the NASCAR style playoffs, but it's
Sponsored by Cheetos.
the best one was the old Indy car before it merged Champ Car, and it was Bridgestone presents the Champ Car World Series powered by Ford. Like that is not a series name, but it was a series name.
Yeah.
Bridgestone presents the Champ Car World Series powered by Ford at the Toyota Grand Prix of Long Beach. Like,
Yeah,
wow.
it's it's when they go for an action replay, and they're like, "Here's the replay sponsored by Bosch Refrigeration."
Yeah, Australia does that as well. You've got the KFC Zinger replay, and you're like, wow, wow, we're sponsoring replays. I don't like that.
Yeah, everything's a commodity.
Yeah, I don't like advertising, but
Mm.
it's the world we
Needs
live in
must,
now.
I'm afraid.
Yeah, exactly.
So do you have any
So
other arse business? A-O-R-S-E-B.
no, not really. I think just Silverstone was great. And you did a rather cool event with Peaceful Research, which should probably be
Oh, I
talked about
did.
as well, because that was very cool. The whole,
Have we
like
talked about
everything
that?
about that. I don't think we've talked about it on the podcast, have we?
Mm. No.
It
No, I don't
was
think we have.
very, very cool.
Yeah,
A
we discussed
lot
it
of
in Silverstone, didn't we? Yeah.
Yeah, we did. There's a lot of great photos and stuff came out of that. Again,
Yeah,
it
very,
fits your vibe, your lifestyle vibe.
it just fitted the brand quite
Yeah,
nicely, I think, and it drew a very cool audience to the exhibition,
yeah.
very young and tapped into sort of, uh, the culture and things like that, so, you know, I think it kind of expands beyond if you like cars, it's just objectively quite a cool exhibition to go to and be part of and things like that, so, yeah, that was the first in-person thing I've done. I've got a few more lined up this year, which
Nice.
where I'll be exhibiting the magazine in one capacity or another, um, including Donington Park at some point, which is
Oh, I
very
don't know about
cool.
this one. I'm excited to hear about this one.
Yeah,
Um,
I'll be at World Superbikes in Donington
oh,
exhibiting
you
the
did mention
magazine.
this.
Yes.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So
I think
that's
that
very
will
cool.
I think that'll go well because it's
Mm,
in person. I think people like when they find slicks in person. They're like, "Oh, this is nice." See, when we showed it to some people at Silverstone, people like Lucy, who was absolutely lovely, and she was like, "Oh, this is really nice." What was it she said? This would be good on a coffee table. I was like, "Yes,
and we were like, "Yes,
exactly, Lucy."
exactly.
Yeah.
Yes."
But like Peaceful Research was great because it was like a mix of really cool vibes. Because Slicks is obviously bordering on motorsport, but also lifestyle, which is really cool. And Peaceful Research is kind of bordering lifestyle, but also automotive, which is obviously
Mm.
slightly different to motorsport, but also lifestyle and art. Like, there's a lot of cool vibes mixed in there, which brings in lots of different people with lots of
Yeah, they're
different like
definitely good company to be
interests.
in,
Yeah.
and, it's probably not the last time we'll do stuff together.
I think I said this to you is like I'm a little bit jealous in a way in that you've created this such a cool lifestyle brand. I've made a cool utility. My app is very good for pure utility. I built a fridge, you know, to go back to the Nissan Juke
Not
statement.
another not another white
I
goods,
know,
man.
don't need another white good. I've built a Chinese car. It's a very, very useful app and it helps people watch motorsport, but it doesn't have the same coolness factor that Slicks has got. And that's what I'm really enjoying about working with you and Slicks a bit. Is like, oh, this is just cool stuff to be involved in.
Thanks. That's very kind. But, I mean, I think the app is cool. I think it's this utilitarian people like useful gadgets and widgets and things like that. It's kind of just there, doing its thing, providing you everything that you need, and that convenience is cool,
What we need is when we go racing, because I'm now planning many years in the future where we're clearly going to be professional racing drivers, is we need a
clearly.
slicks and racing line livery, but kind of retro cool vibe
Yeah,
that works
100%.
with both brands.
We're going to buy a team, run
Yeah,
2 cars, and we're
yeah,
going to be the drivers and run the teams, and we'll run around at the back of the grid.
yeah, exactly. We'll be last, but it's okay because we're going slower so people can see our brands
See
more.
the branding, yes,
We
yes,
could do the
method.
BAR livery. We could do the zip down the middle. One side is slicks, the other side is the racing line. There we
Yes,
go.
there you go. There you go.
That would be cool. Or we just do retro motorsport liveries or something like that. Because that was the
Mm.
other thing that came out of the Peaceful Research, actually. It was a bunch of cool retro slicks logos. And I was like, you should definitely get some mileage out of those because they're very, very cool.
I'm gonna hammer them, don't you worry. But in terms of arsing, I think we've audibly recapped significant events for today.
Yep. I would call it a wrap at that, and we'll try and get back into a routine of recording next week so that there's not a week's break with no
Yes.
episodes.
Yes, but yeah, Dave, to wrap it up, do your elevator pitch for me.
What am I selling here?
Your app, probably.
If you're tired of missing races, download the
Yeah,
Racing Line app.
there we go.
It's basically free, asterisk. So just give that a download. It's 99
And you
pence. You
can
can
watch
afford it.
every single race ever in the app, asterisk.
Yeah. I've been streaming Formula One since 1950. Asterisk. Yeah, if you're a motorsport fan and you want to watch more motor racing, I'll tell you when motor racing's on, and you can watch quite a lot of it in the app as well. That's the deal. And if you want just a really nice book to read about motor stuff, motor racing stuff, and car stuff, go and buy Slicks. Episode 2, issue 2 is available. Issue 3 is
Bet you
coming soon.
can.
Just go and buy it.
Yeah, there you go. I didn't have to say anything.
No, I'm getting quite good at this sales nonsense. I've
Mm.
worked out that sales nonsense is actually just talk shite. That's what salespeople
Mm.
do. It,
Talk for long enough and wear
yeah,
them down, and then they just go, right, okay, where do I need to sign? And
yeah,
then it's sorted.
yeah. If we keep pushing this, everybody will eventually be like, "Oh, fine, I'll just go and buy the mag. Fine."
Yeah, fine, I'll download the app. Yeah.
Yeah,
Right then, we'll leave it there. Thank you for listening to Arse number, what is this, 4?
I don't
5?
know.
3?
I think it's 3.
I think we're going to drop the numbers at some point because
Yeah,
it's just another arse, isn't it?
yeah,
Once you've
uh,
seen an arse, you've seen them all. That's,
yeah. Well, they're all the same.
fundamentally, they all serve the same purpose.
Yeah, exactly. Cool. In that case, I shall see you next week for
See ya.
Well, we've not even planned what we're doing next week. We'll work it
Nah,
out probably 10
yeah.
minutes before the episode.
Right, goodbye.
Cool. See you, man.